After using the Everlast 255 EXT for a couple months now, I'm gonna let you know what I think about it, and I'm gonna give you a demo on some stuff. My name is Dusty, and I'm a welding artist from Vancouver Island, and I've been TIG welding in the industry for almost 20 years now. My YouTube channel is for the positive people in the welding community who love TIG welding as much as I do. This is for the beginners, people looking to up their game on the torch, or just anyone who's interested in learning about TIG welding in a fun, negativity-free environment. So join me on my mission on my channel, and let's get welding. This is Pacific Arc TIG Welding. What's up, Arc heads? Welcome to another episode. I appreciate you tuning in as always. So, as a lot of you know, I jumped on Team Everlast a few months ago. I've been using Everlast for a couple years now. The first machine I bought for the studio with my own money was the Everlast 210 EXT. I've used this machine for years now and I love it. It's super simple, but I got hooked up with the 255 EXT. This machine is a beast. After using it for a couple months now, getting a little bit familiar with the different things about this one compared to the 210, what I'm going to do here today is do part one of 2 episodes where I'm going to run some demos and break down some details with this machine. So first off, let's cut to some unboxing clips. We'll see how it looked when I cracked open the cardboard boxes. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, we got a book. You like books?
No.
What?
Someone get the foam out. Oh.
Hello.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Goodbye.
Come on, Felix. Hop in. Yeah. Can we pop this?
That's all you want out of there is the bubble wrap? You don't want to play with the stinger?
What is this thing now?
Must be a TIG kid. But the foot pedal.
I did it!
No.
You can't breathe through here.
That's right.
And little brother could die. Hey, what's this piece of foam?
So as I unbox this entire thing, I'm actually pretty stoked at how well everything is packaged. It's amazing how much gear is fit into these boxes, and especially the box with all of the accessories in it, everything is packed away really nicely. Okay, now that my front entranceway is getting a little bit full, let's move this to the garage. So first thing I recommend is definitely cutting the plastic open on the top of the machine. You'll have access to these 4 screws on top because the welding machine comes with a super badass handle, which you can attach while it's in the box still. This 255 EXT is freaking heavy, so you kind of need the handle to be attached so you can even get it out of the box. And we got some instruction book here. I'll get to that later. But taking a look at everything here, this thing looks well put together. I love the beefy plastic on the corners. That signature Everlast green looks awesome. Taking a quick look at the water cooling unit here, you can see the reservoir is now empty. We'll fill that up in a bit. But again, the matching green, the matching plastic corners and everything looks awesome. There's the power cord which plugs into the back of the Everlast power unit. So here's the other handles that we put on the front and back of the unit. And you tighten them up like so. On the back here, we'll pull the plastic cover off for the gas inlet and we'll hook up the gas hose. I gotta say that on first impressions, I'm really impressed with the gas hose on this unit. All right, now let's tuck this onto the shelf, see how it fits. Run the wires around back, get all the wires out of the way. Now it's time to slide the water cooler underneath. Is it gonna fit? Oh my gosh, look at that. Doesn't come any closer than that. Okay, on the back of the water cooler, we got this plug. This plug plugs directly into the back of the power unit for the welder itself. Okay, clean table, let's go. First thing we got here is the foot pedal. So first thing we got is the Nova foot pedal. This thing is really slim, really lightweight. I like it. It's got this grip tape on the bottom and the top, so it fits your foot well. You can slide it around fairly easily. Feels good under the foot, I gotta say. I really like this one. It's simple, not a lot to it, and that's kind of what I want out of a foot pedal. Lightweight. We got a couple things here actually. All right, so we got the plug adapter. So we have different options of how to plug it in. Do your research on this before you buy it. We got the stinger if we want to bust out the stinger and do some stick welding. Might do that once in a while, we'll see. We got the ground cable. This thing's pretty dope. It's really, really sturdy. Here's the plug that plugs into the machine. You can see it's a basic connection that most ground clamps have. And here's our gas regulator. I really like these ones. Let's peel the plastic off the glass. Oh my gosh, brand new glass, look at that. Okay, so we have our first torch lead here. You can see it has the thumb trigger attached to it. We'll be taking that off pretty quick. I hate those things. So there's the plug that goes into the machine for the gas supply, and there's the plug that goes into the machine to activate the thumb trigger. All right, we'll bust out the second one here, and this is the water-cooled torch lead. So you can see there is your first, which plug is that? I can't remember now. There's your other one for cool water back to the torch. And there's your gas hose. All three of those plug pretty easy into the machine. And then there's the other connection for the thumb trigger. No way, you're out of here. Okay, so now I'm gonna attach the other end of the gas hose. Do not drop your regulator. Oh, just kidding. Attach it to the cylinder. Keep it nice and vertical if you can. Tighten her up and you're good to go. Thumbs up. Flick that bad boy on. How good does that look? Connecting my foot pedal here. Plug in the DINT style connector for the torch lead. Now let's put some coolant in it. Do your research as to what you want to use for coolant. So the first thing I'm going to do is undo the zipper so I can remove the thumb trigger. Pretty simple to do, just a couple snips and then you can remove it. I know that I joked around about throwing out the instructions, but honestly, this instruction booklet is one of the best I've got with a welder so far. It goes through a really detailed list of settings, as well as all the capabilities for everything that it can do. It goes through all kinds of power stuff, all the stuff you probably should read. How to connect your gas, how to grind a tungsten, what different tungsten grinds will do, how many books go over this stuff? This is important stuff. It's great to have this in an instruction book. It shows you how to hook it up for different operations, stick, TIG, all that stuff. And then just a basic rundown of all the different things in the bank. It's pretty awesome. So definitely gotta say, for an operator's manual that you get, this one actually is taking some time going through and fully reading. Okay, so you've seen me unbox everything. You've seen me set up all the parts. We've gone through everything that comes with the package for the 255 EXT. So I've been using it for a couple months now. If you watch my channel, you know that I've been using this machine quite a bit for my episodes. So what do I think of all the stuff that you saw in the video so far? Anybody who watches my show regularly knows I'm pretty meticulous about my setup. I like things being a certain way, and I like them running well. So what do I think of all the stuff that came with this package? I dig it. The bang for your buck you get with this package is really, really something special. Not only are they an awesome company, filled with nice people who hit me up, also with a badass crew, all of the stuff that came with this package is really impressive. Some of my favorite things are definitely the foot pedal. The foot pedal has just gotta be simple for me. It's slim, got good grip tape so I can kind of scoot it around the floor on one hand, yet it sticks in place when I'm doing something like pedal bumping instead of doing pulse. I do wish that it had a little bit thicker of a cord. I always get sketched out about thin cords, but this one is holding up really well so far. Little hot tip for anybody out there, don't ever pick up your pedal by the cord. Here, I'll show you. Pick your pedal up like this. Don't ever hold it by the cord. Pulls the wires and connections loose on the inside. It's a nice pedal, treat it nicely. Hold it like this, don't pick it up by the cord. Don't pick a puppy dog up by the tail. Another thing I'll mention as far as the power adapter goes, do your research on this subject before you buy a welder. Not just Everlast, any welder. When I first put my studio together here, I got a welder and I did not do my research very well on what kind of power requirements I had. I actually had to upgrade my service, get different plugs put into the studio here. I thought I'd just be able to use an adapter. I know more about welding than electricity, obviously. So for anybody out there, do your research before you pick something up. Make sure it's safe and make sure that if you plug direct into the wall or you use the adapter, you're good to go on your panel and all safety stuff is covered. One major improvement I like about the 255 over the 210 that I have is the gas hose. The gas hose, as I showed as I hooked it up here, is much more stable and sturdy than the old one. The old one I actually had problems with. I had to upgrade a couple little clampy things to make sure that that hose stayed onto the copper or brass, whatever they are, fittings that went into the regulator. The cord kept popping off of that little fitting, so I actually had to redo the clamps. It's all good, it worked out, but this new one is much nicer. It's super sturdy. the crimps look great, and so far, honestly, zero problems. It's been awesome. Now listen, I've seen a few reviews on YouTube as far as these machines go, and one common gripe that a lot of people make is about the torches. Now, with my 210 EXT, it came with a gas-cooled torch. The thing got hot as shit sometimes. Honestly, still didn't have any problems with it. I had no overheating issues. It didn't damage any of the consumables in the torch. So as far as the 210 EXT went, with just a gas-cooled setup or air-cooled, whatever you want to call it, it worked great. And I put a lot of miles on that torch. Now, obviously with this machine here, we get two different types of torches. We get an air-cooled or a gas-cooled one, which you saw already. As well, we get the water-cooled torch. Now, I have been working for 2 years on my channel in here. And just with this machine is the first time I've had a water-cooled torch. And let me tell you, it is such a treat. I have done art projects where I have been welding for multiple hours straight. I have done aluminum demos, I have filmed my program, I have done all kinds of welding with a gas-cooled torch. Never had a problem with it in here, but let me tell you, with this water-cooled torch, it's a real treat. It's very basic, it's very simple. I love how the water-cooled lines are color-coded, because for a dummy like me, it's pretty easy that I connect stuff backwards. So I appreciate the clear labeling, both going into the water cooler and the machine. The water-cooled torch is also super lightweight, which is great, especially like I said, when I'm doing an art project that takes me dozens of hours. I really appreciate a torch that doesn't feel like 1,000,000 pounds. Another thing I really like about the machine is the regulator. I love the ball readout regulators. I just find them more reliable to follow. They give a more reliable and accurate read as far as the ball level goes. As far as a 2-stage regulator, I don't really need much. However, these ones are nice. Make sure you install them vertically so they don't have a slant, so you get the most accurate read possible. On part 2 of this series, next week, we're gonna be doing a full demo as far as the setup on the panel goes. I'll show you how that is all laid out, as well as I'll show you a couple different options as far as how I set machines up for a couple different jobs. I'm gonna do a demonstration both on aluminum, and I'm gonna do a demonstration on stainless steel as well. So we'll get a little bit of a feel between the two, what it's like to switch up. I'll introduce you to the panel a little bit. So stay tuned for that episode. If you want to see another episode where I use this machine right here, it's this thumbnail right here. The link is also in the description below. It does a great layout of how I set things up as far as the panel goes. And then you can actually see me weld out a project if you can't wait until next week. Thank you to Everlast. Everybody go check out my link to Everlast below. This is an affiliate link. So if you're looking to pick something up, it's not gonna cost you any extra money, but if you use that link, I get a few bucks kicked back to me. It's a way you can support my channel. I would really appreciate it. Other than that, check out the rest of the stuff on their website. They got all kinds of stuff. Check it all out. Drop them a DM on Instagram, tell them I say what's up and you watch my video. But again, stay tuned for part 2 next week. For Pacific Arc TIG Welding, my name is Dusty. Phil and Chill, we'll talk soon. Peace.